Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Spooky for the 31st of October, 2021. Given the fact that's Halloween, I read some very scary stuff in the media about Dr. Anthony Fauci and some beagles which got experimented on. I'm pretty sure you all know the story by now. It's quite grisly. I can't show it on YouTube. But this actually gave me an idea. I was, maybe I should go to Mickey Mouse, to Walt Disney, and propose a live-action movie for him. Dr. Anthony Fauci and the 101 Beagles. I personally think it's an amazing idea for the little ones, for the children. It's a movie that's going to inspire a lot of emotions. There's going to be a lot of drama. There's going to be a lot of crying. It's going to get people glued to that television box. It's going to sell like pancakes. And do you know what Mickey Mouse said to me when I proposed this to him? He said, "The fuck is wrong with you, V? Haha. How do you think this is going to sell, you moron? Haha. Don't you understand? Cruella de Vil actually wanted to create a product. She would actually sell fur coats. This created nothing, V. Haha. This created nothing. Only pain and suffering. What is wrong with you? No one is going to buy this." So, unfortunately, no matter how much I try, I cannot seem to become like Pokimane and have deals with Walt Disney. The money of the mouse is unreachable to me. Sadness. But I guess I just need to keep on keeping on. But let's not let that ruin our Halloween spirit and talk about other things which are very scary. Do you know what really frightens me? Especially here in Eastern Europe, because this is something that can happen. Imagine yourself walking down the street when someone steals your phone. That's a scary thought, isn't it? Especially if you invested a lot in your phone, if you have some phone numbers that are now going to be inaccessible to you. And this is exactly what has happened to a journalist in Egypt, in Cairo. Let's watch the scene, everyone.
بوقوع خسائر في الارواح والممتلكات، ولكن الشبكه طبعا بالفعل رصدت شعور عدد كبير جدا من المواطنين بالجمهوريه بهذه الحق.
I gotta say that cigarette has to add at least 10 charisma. And +5 to street smarts. So yes, the journalist got robbed. But you know what else is scary, and this time scary for the thief? Imagine robbing from a journalist who is live streaming to 20,000 people. Apparently his face became very familiar, with or without the cigarette, and the cops actually managed to catch him within 2 hours. I do have to give props for how effective and well-oiled the phone stealing machine is in Egypt, because within 2 hours the guy already has managed to fence the phone. I wish the government would be that efficient. Like, imagine you have a problem and the government instantly find the solution. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, especially in the United States. They had the problem with the far right for 10 years now. They have tried to censor the entire internet, and they still have a problem with the far right. So they even had the academics, like people that are paid the big bucks at the universities, to figure out how to fight against the far right. And you still have the far right even to this day. Look, the press is desperate. You have members of the press writing articles trying to warn people that laughter is the new symbol of the far right. So I now have to blame Slate magazine, which is the only one that didn't get censored because the internet got censored, but Slate didn't, and Slate is pushing for people to become far right. By telling people to laugh, as we've seen previously, they are actually encouraging people to become far right to drive their ratings. Slate is dangerous to our democracy. We need to censor Slate magazine to discourage them from inciting people to laughter, which, as we mentioned before, makes people far right. But you need to understand the far rightiness is in the food. They are putting chemicals in the food that are making the frogs far right. Look, CNN, In-N-Out is the fast food of white supremacists. See? You need to be careful what you eat. It is that poisonous. If you travel to America like a tourist, be very careful of what you're consuming. You might think you're eating a hamburger and you can become a white supremacist. Because I think this is what happened to this particular lady. I'm going to put my medical diagnosis and I'm going to think that she has ate a hamburger and she has become a white supremacist. Maybe this is what's happening in the white supremacist community. They're having diversity and inclusion outreach, and they're trying to be more equitable with the supremacy. So they're now inviting people from various walks of life, from different backgrounds, and I think white supremacy is going to have the slogan, diversity is our strength soon, because I keep seeing people of color being issued the label. So at one point you have to stop and think, like, what is going on? You have to put yourself into the mind of those evil people so you can understand. And they realize that there's a powerful strength on the left, a strength that they can too have if they also hire some diversity officers. So here in Romania, this Halloween, I am extremely afraid, traumatized as I look as the most powerful nation on earth, the United States, is incapable of dealing with white supremacy. As I mentioned before, for 6 years they have looked at the internet and they said, let's censor this, let's ban that, let's deplatform that, let's ban these people. And yet there is nothing to show. They have pumped money. They have pumped wealth into prestigious NGOs, the smartest minds of our society, the members of the academia, the charitable communists, and the very brave activists have been hard at work saying you can't say this and you can't say that and we need to watch this and we need to watch that. And what is the efforts of their labor? Jack shit. So I am now afraid. Nothing in this world has scared me so much as the white supremacy in the burgers. But maybe, you know what? Maybe the government has a new plan. Maybe the senators are going to finally come up with a solution. So I'm looking at the news to see what the brave leaders are doing about this. And what I see is a man with a red mask saying, let's go, Brandon. So I'm a little bit confused. It's like, who is this Brandon? Why is he all of a sudden a national conversation? So I'm a dumb person. I'm really stupid when I'm scared and confused. So I can't think for myself. I need to look towards the experts to tell me who this Brandon is.
For, which is a Republican member of Congress wearing a mask that says, let's go, Brandon. This is South Carolina Congressman Jeff Duncan. And for the uninitiated, this stems from a crowd at a NASCAR race yelling F Joe Biden, but it was during the speech of the winner, Brandon Brown, and a commentator thought that the crowd was saying, let's go, Brandon. So this is really just a substitute for F Joe Biden. And you have a member of the House wearing this on the floor.
Thank you so much, Jabs Construction. Thank you, Mid-Atlantic. Thank you to all of our partners. Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go, Brandon. Brandon, you told me you were going to kind of hang back those first...
Oh my God. Why is there so much evil in the world? So MSNBC does the charitable thing and hires journalists with disabilities. That lady clearly had a hearing problem and she did an oopsie. She messed up. She goofed. She thought that the crowd was chanting, let's go, Brandon, when they were chanting something else. And now evil people in the world are taking advantage of that, casting a dark shame upon our society. And wait, there is more. Now, apparently, the prestigious Adele booming at radio was knocked off iTunes' top spot by moronic anti-Biden song. According to Buzz Angle, Easy on Me is now nearing 600,000 copies sold, mostly from streaming. However, it was knocked off its perch at number 1 on iTunes after 10 straight days of the temporary displacer by a moronic single called Let's Go Brandon. The author, Bryson Gray Tyson, an anti-Biden recorder for anti-vaxxers. Idiots are pushing this piece of crap up the iTunes chart, but no one in their right mind would spend money on it. It's not a song or a record. It is garbage. So I had to look and see for myself the train wreck. And it seems that not only the first, but the second and the third top tunes on Spotify are all called Let's Go Brandon. So let's watch a little bit from the number 2 hit song to see for ourselves the evil in society. Absolutely despicable. I hope that big corporations are going to take the correct measures and ban those songs. For example, YouTube has already did the righteous thing and has banned the Let's Go Brandon song because it's medical misinformation. But Spotify will not take action, and I am afraid. I am scared. I live in a society where big corporations refuse to work hand in hand for the betterment of myself. And that makes me very, very scared, because I do not see the future of our democracy unless multi-billion-dollar for-profit corporations do not step up and ban and censor and make absolutely sure that only the proper information comes up. They should also ban the song from AC/DC Highway to Hell for also misinformation, because there is no hell. There is no proof. There is scientific consensus that there is no hell. And as such, that song is spreading lies, and people can move and operate in society based on those lies. And that is dangerous for our democracy. Every single song in the world, every single art piece, every single thing needs to be true. Fact checkers, do your thing. We do not pay you for nothing. Fact checkers, the burden of democracy rests on your shoulder. You need to start actively purging every single thing that is not true from society. Where is Snopes when you need them, huh? What is Snopes doing? I am scared. I am terrified because Snopes is sleeping. Someone needs to go in front of Snopes and demand that they take action. Demand that they do better. Imagine allowing songs from AC/DC to go unchecked. Because they did that in the past, now you have the Let's Go Brandon song. I just cannot believe that in a free democratic country, a chant like Let's Go Brandon was allowed to go all the way to the top. You know what? You know what I think? Maybe I am misrepresenting what happened. Maybe it's not about anything we've talked up until now. And maybe when people are saying, let's go Brandon, they mean something else.
Brandon, could you do me a favor and tell the president what you've told me and so many other people about what Lynn means to you for your care?
Without her, I would not be able to have the life that I have. And there are thousands of people like me every day who without these wonderful people that welcome me would not be able to live the life that they live. They give us a substantial life.
And they give you hope.
And I thank you so much for the Build Back Better plan. And I'm here to fight with you. You're not alone.
Thank you, buddy.
There, you see? Now that makes sense. That's why it was allowed to go all the way to the top. Because what people are saying when they say, let's go Brandon, they mean the wholesome video where a person who had a bad hand in life managed to find the courage and the will to live on and also support the United States president, showing healing and unity. And that is what people are actually chanting about. And that is what people are singing about. You know what? Instead of the Build Back Better agenda, I think we should call it the Let's Go Brandon agenda. Because it makes us feel of that wholesome moment where you have that individual that is inspiring joy and is showing unity with the president. And speaking of the agenda, what do you think Biden did last week? And speaking of the agenda, what do you think Biden did last week? Why, he did a very noble thing. He went to Rome in order to talk about the climate. You know, where everyone gathers and they're talking about reducing the carbon, reducing the reliance on fossil fuels. And as they're talking, like I can already imagine, like you have all these people with Greta Thunberg going, how dare you, and trying to limit carbon emissions, they hear a sound. And it was like, vroom, vroom, vroom. And it's like, what is happening? Who is Captain Pollution? What is going on? Oh no, it's Joe Biden with his 85 vehicle motorcade. Oh, that's fine because he's one of us. Like, don't worry about it. See? And then they probably heard. It was Prince Charles flying in his private jet to Rome to take part in the G20 conference before returning via private jet back to COP26 summit in Glasgow to express his concerns over climate change. So, when it's about passing a virus, you can do it online, right? Like everything moves online, but when in Rome, you have to go with the private jet, you have to bring the motorcade. Luckily, there is no right-winger to measure the CO2 emissions in Rome, because I'm willing to bet whenever there's a summit about climate anywhere in the earth, the climate emissions just, they spike. They spike because, well, Prince Charles, he can't come with normal transportation. He can't just use Skype. He can't just go into a normal passenger plane. Are you crazy? I mean, he's Prince Charles. You're not Prince Charles. I have understood how the climate works. Instead of carbon credits, you should have ideology credits. As long as you say the correct things, you should be allowed to pollute. Because I'm looking at actors, I'm looking at famous people, I'm looking at the US president. All of them tell us that you shouldn't pollute, but they're polluting themselves. So what I think is that as long as you raise awareness, as long as you say the correct things, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So that's what I'm getting from the Let's Go Brandon agenda. Yeah, I love it. Some people are like, oh, but the optics are bad. Who cares about the optics as if you have any say in it? See, I look at how society is run. We need psychologists. Psychologists understand the correct way you should educate the masses. Look here, you bigot.
Away free. Psychologically, it's a bit like parenting. You have to start taking away freedoms. You have to start putting some kind of punishment in place. You can't have your chocolate bar until you've eaten your broccoli. You are not allowed to go to a gig, to go to a restaurant, to go to a hairdresser. Oh my, I need to go to a hairdresser. But you're not allowed to go to a hairdresser unless you've had a vaccine. But Kevin...
It's now or never. I love the fact that the UN is taking a page from the psychologist book and is treating people like children, using a dinosaur to lecture them. That's going to work, isn't it? Absolutely, it's going to work. I was already hooked about it. I hope China is hooked about it. I don't know. Dinosaurs, lizard people. That's more of an Alex Jones thing. I think with China, you should use a bear or something in order to drag their attention. Look, 9.8 billion. How many cars would China need to go to the Vatican in order to... Like if the US has brought more than 50 cars, how many would China need? Huh? Because again, like all you need to do is to say that you're going to do things to fix the problem, but then you don't need to do anything. Like the countries that claim they're fixing the problem the most are the ones that are polluting the most. Meanwhile, like Romania is what? Somewhere around here. And from what I understand, the enlightened leaders of Romania, they said that ships who are polluting too much aren't allowed to anchor in the harbor. And now almost all the trading ships are going to the port in Ukraine. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yes. Good job. Good job, Romanians. Very good. You know what? Let's talk about something wholesome. Look at this. An ice cream man has posted on Twitter. A little girl just came up to the ice cream truck and asked if she could buy ice cream with a blue rock she found. I am now one blue rock richer. Isn't this pretty? Absolutely adorable. But did you know that a crime was committed? Who do you think committed the crime? The little girl or the ice cream man? The answer is that both committed the crime. The little girl, when she picked up the rock, she should have paid income to the government. How does she expect poor AOC to work in Washington, D.C. if she gets no income from the citizens? The moment you earn something, you need to pay your taxes. And then, when she sold the rock, she should have paid sales tax for the rock. And now the ice cream man should have also give half of what's left to the government. That is how economy should function. That is a healthy, normal society without which you cannot have roads. You know, this is why the Build Back Better needs to have the IRS looking into everyone's bank account to make sure that they're not hiding any pebbles, to make sure that they're not finding any alternative way of paying for stuff. Can you imagine if everyone used pebbles and bypassed the dollars? My God, that would be horrible. So no, this little pebble could have been a Bitcoin. Can you imagine the horror? No, everything needs to be regulated. Absolutely everything. Yeah. It's a wonder that little girl didn't know about this. Like, you'd think she would learn about it in school. But I think it's because she's an American. Because you see, yet again, Americans just don't get it. They are the black sheep of the world. They are always backwards. They are very reactionary when it comes to these things. I mean, look here. Parents claim they have the right to shape their kids' school curriculum. They don't. Of course they don't. Yeah, you think like the parent who lives with the kid and cares for the kid because of a biological connection would know better, but no, because the greatest invention that mankind ever made since the steam engine is that of the expert. The expert knows everything. The expert knows better than the parent. The expert knows better than the teacher. The expert is God. And in order for a human being to learn something, they cannot just, I don't know, follow an apprenticeship, learn by themselves, look at Google, learn from their friends, learn from their parents. No, the expert creates the curriculum, the professor teaches. That is the way of things, that is the way of the world, and anything different is reactionary. So this whole struggle between teachers and the school unions shouldn't exist if you understand how the world works, from the expert to the teacher to your child. End of story. Obviously, Americans don't get it, so it frustrates the school board members who have been caught on mic saying F you at the parent. This is what happens. This is what happens when parents don't get it. You have drive the school board members to exhaustion. They are tired, they are exhausted. Just please stop struggling against them and allow them to educate your kids, because they're doing an excellent job. Now, you have a school board member which posted on Facebook saying that she was so honored to be invited to chaperone Wilton Manor as his field trip to the incredible Rosie's. The students and I had a fun walk over and learned a lot about our community. A huge thank you for Rosie B&G for hosting this special field trip. You see? Do you see how things go when everything is normal and smooth and parents don't interfere? Because when parents interfere, there's chaos. Apparently, a parent looked up to see what Rosie's is. Turns out it's a gay bar. So of course, you know, the parent's homophobic. They're like, oh, why are you taking the elementary school kids to a gay bar? It's like, what do you care? Are you the expert? Are you the expert? Do you think you have expertise in this matter? No. Are you a school board member? No. Just move out the way. Just move out the way. Let them do the job. Now you have this big thing in the media, and now everyone is upset, and the right wing. This could have all been avoided if you just moved out of the way. Let them do the job. Do the job. Pay taxes to the government. That is your job. Your job is simple. Your job is to toil, to get that income, and to pay taxes to the government. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this segment for This Week in Stupid. If you did, you have a great window of opportunity to buy me a coffee. So if you want to buy me a coffee, there is a link into the pinned comment section, into the description. It will take you to my Subscribe Star. And you can give me how much you want to keep me caffeinated. Otherwise, you can just share this video, and if for some reason you really, really like this segment, what you can do is you can follow me on my live stream. I will be live streaming right after this. And if you don't want to do any of that, you can still help me out by sharing this video. Share it to your friends. If you had a laugh, hopefully they will have a laugh as well. And let me know what you think. Now, the music that I usually use got copyrighted, so I'm going to use something better instead. I hope you all enjoy, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here.
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.